Hey everyone, welcome to Grab a Stack of Rock tonight. I just want to say very, very quickly, it's been a pretty rare week for me, but today's been especially tough. My wife Jen had a seizure earlier today at the mall, or at a Tim Hortons rather, and fell down, and she's resting right now. She insisted that the show go on. She always insists that the show go on, so that's what we're doing. The show is going on. We're dedicating this one to Jen tonight. And I realize we're also having some technical difficulties. We can't seem to stream to Facebook or the LeBrain Facebook page either. So we've got some technical difficulties tonight. We're off to a great start. Let's grab a stack of rock. Tim! Don't let the bells end. I know what that's a reference to. Thank you for pinch hitting tonight and agreeing to come on and be the co-host this evening.
Am I the co-host?
You are, my friend. I roped you in. You kind of said you were in.
I say a lot of things during the week, but...
Hey, Grant's in the house.
Hello, Grant.
Shall we bring in our cast of characters for this evening?
I think that we should.
Okay, so first up, we have from, I believe, Orillia, Ontario, we have Metal Roger.
Not Orillia, but close enough.
Oshawa. It starts with an O.
Yeah. One's full of meth and crackheads, and the other place is absolutely beautiful.
I'm not going to even try to guess which. Next up, we have from Rock Daydream Nation, Mr. Peter Kerr. How are you doing?
Hello. Going well.
Excellent.
Could be on.
I just spoke to you recently about an artist. I can't wait till your episode airs.
Coming soon.
And speaking of coming soon, finally we have the captain and co-captain of their music corner of the world, Mr. John Clauser and Mr. John the Music Nut.
What's up, yo?
How y'all doing?
Look at this. Grant's absolutely blown away by the cast of characters tonight. He's like, is that Durling and Kerr? Oh my God. Thank you for joining me.
And it really is a my music corner takeover with Roger here, because he's on my North and South rock and metal connection. So this is going to be awesome.
I crashed the party. Sorry.
Au contraire, it could be Rock Daydream Nation takeover.
Well, that too.
Yeah.
There you go.
Takeover for we've had John the Music Nut, and I've been on with him on Tim's show before. In fact, John, do you recall what band we were talking about that night that we were on Tim's Vinyl Confessions?
I'm not sure what band it was. I really don't have any idea. Maybe
I'll tell you.
From San Francisco, perhaps. I'm not sure.
Well, I'll tell you. I've got something here to open up, and you can get this on your local Amazon, be it .ca or .com. But this is the brand new Y&T.
Mike, you bought 3 of them. You didn't have to do that.
Oh, that was
cool. Well,
Nice.
Tim, I mean, that's what you pay me for. Anyway,
How about that? We got to talk after.
This is Down for the Count, the Y&T album review by Tim Durling and friends, with artwork by Hugh Syme. I mean,
And featuring three of you all here.
that's right.
Peter and John and Mike all contributed and contributed most excellently, I might add.
Thank you.
Yeah, my copy's currently in a plane over Fiji, so it'll be dropping soon.
For what it's worth, I
Same
haven't
here.
even gotten my official copy yet, Peter. So
No, I'm looking forward to it. It's next week I get it. So
And now I
There you
have
go.
some reading material for the weekend. Real quick, I just want to open up 2 more parcels before we get going because I've been hanging on to this stuff. My pal Deke, he says that he always rips open his parcels as soon as they arrive at his doorstep. But I told him that according to the kids of today, if you don't open it up on camera, then what's the point?
oh yeah.
So this has been sitting here waiting for 2 weeks. And this is The Afterglow of Ragnarok by Bruce Dickinson's 7-inch
Nice.
single with a demo of If Eternity Should Fail, which, if you recall, that's an Iron Maiden song that he's included on his forthcoming album. So I'm looking forward to hearing this. I have kind of a policy where I don't really listen to streams until I have a physical copy in my hands. I'm old fashioned. I like to have it to hold and look at before I play it. So I've not heard it, but I'm certain I will love it.
You're old fashioned. I don't even listen to streams.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, so Tim, I apologize this time. I did not buy one of your shirts from
You
T
do not have to
Public.
apologize every time you buy someone else's shirt, Mike. Thank you, but spread the love around.
From tpublic.com. This is my new Visions and Sound. This
That's
is
awesome.
Rob Daniels' show on CKWR. Rob, this is for you, man. I needed a new Visions and Sound shirt.
That's a
and
cool shirt. In all
Yeah.
seriousness, though, someone out there bought one of the shirts with the book cover on it, and nobody's told me who it was. So whoever it is, thank you.
well, maybe one of these guys will show up wearing it on an upcoming show.
Well, that would be a good clue. Yes.
John T. Snow.
Another contributor to the book. I had a lot of fine folks step up and speak very passionately about Y&T, and I appreciate all of you.
This one's
you all
just
helped contribute to. I think it's something very special for the fans, of which I'm including myself, and yeah. So thank
Harrison's
you
in
to
the
everybody who
house.
supported. We're done
Harrison?
talking about my book now. I'm just gonna
No.
mumble.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
No, Mike made me the co-host. He's talking all over me. It's all right.
That's all right. Sorry.
It's all right.
Anyway.
I talk all over everybody anyway. It's what I do.
You can get all these shirts at tpublic.com. All right. Are you guys ready to rock some lists? All right. So this is a little thing that we like to call Cinco de Listo. Plug your ears.
You got my fingers in a baseball. Cinco de Listo. The pentagram made crystal. Cinco de Listo. Got my bones left in a pixel. Cinco de Listo. One bullet shy of a pistol. Cinco de Listo. Cinco de Listo. Cinco de Listo. Cinco de Listo.
So this is the top 5 Christmas songs, and I think we're going to start with Mr. Durling. So Tim, do you have a number 5 favorite Christmas song?
These really aren't in any order except the ones that are. And this first one's more of an album, but I'll pick one song off of it. And
Okay.
I'm going to start off because it's kind of a sad story, but it ends up happy. Okay. So 1982, I lost my grandfather in June, I think it was. So that Christmas, it was my grandmother's, she was alone. And so my mother and my sister and I were down because we all lived in the same town. And she wasn't going to put up any Christmas decorations or do anything like that. So, my sister and I were like bugging her, like, no. It's one of those things that little kids do, and you don't realize you're doing such a significant thing until later. So anyway, up we went to the mall. We got one of those old, early artificial Christmas trees where the branches are completely straight and completely stiff, but was better than nothing. And she also didn't have any Christmas records. I don't understand why, because most households had some sort of Christmas music, but there was a drop bin. We were in a department store, and I don't know if Metropolitan Stores or the Met was outside of the Atlantic provinces. If anybody in Canada remember the Met, anyway, we had a Met. It was like a cheap department store type of thing. Anyway, they had a big dump bin out front. Again, this was 1982. Disco was dead. Okay, so they had a bunch of records out front in this dump bin, and for 50 cents, my sister and I both saw it and cackled at it. We saw this record. This is the Mistletoe Disco Band, Christmas Disco. So it was originally from 79, but by 82, it was marked down to 50 cents. So we bought it. And it is so terribly bad. It's wonderful. And it was very, very many years later before I actually just found it on compact disc, which was quite an achievement because it was instant memory unlock. It's completely cheesy. It's like almost like one continuous song. So I'm going to go, for lack of a better term, or lack of a better choice, I'm just going to go with the version of Jingle Bells that's on here. It's my number 5.
Wicked. And thank you for wearing your Jingle Bells on your hat. Just shout out to Grant. Check his show out tonight, but check out, let us finish first.
Holmes.
Yeah.
Sharpshooter.
Yeah.
That's right.
Great song. Okay, so that is our first number 5. We've gone disco. Now, Metal Rogers rocking a Suicidal Tendencies hat, a Slayer shirt, and a metal beard. So I'm thinking you're not picking disco for your number 5.
Yeah, and I'm not picking metal. How's that for a shocker?
Okay,
What? Yeah, I'm like, what the hell? Yeah, anyway, it's Elvis, Blue Christmas. I grew up listening to Elvis. That was literally, it literally just came to me. Elvis was the first rock or metal person I ever listened to. My mom used to be obsessed with Elvis.
Very cool.
And if I had any props, those would be the only props I have because I'm not old fashioned. I just listen to streams. I'm much too lazy to get off my ass and change a record. But yeah. I don't know. I always love this song, and I have
I do too.
a great Elvis impression that I'm not drunk enough to do on here. So.
Well, you know who else loves Elvis is Marco the Contrarian. So
Yeah.
You're in good company. Tim, I have a question for my co-host. You know the little gimmick that we played last time on the Metallica show? You know the one I'm talking about?
I do.
Now, does that get played if we have the same song by a different artist?
Oh, why not?
Okay, well, okay, that's
I
coming up
say,
pretty soon.
Why not?
Dare I say, why not?
Dare I say, why not?
Now, we have Peter Kurt here, whose channel has been growing exponentially. He just interviewed Mark Farner from Grand Funk, and he's got more interviews coming. So, Peter, thank you for spending your time with us. Lower rank.
Get your hand off it. It's all good. It's all good.
I'm always glad to talk to you, though, and I am truly very excited about the show we have coming.
Absolutely. Shall I just tell the folks? I think.
Do you want it?
Yeah, absolutely. So Mike has never heard a Prince album. So I did a little bit of a homework assignment, and I assigned him Purple Rain.
Mm-hmm.
So Mike LeBrain listening to Prince Purple Rain album for the very first time. So check out that show. That'll drop very quickly.
I'm looking forward to it. You just did Van Halen 3 today, and I'm looking forward to checking out your Van Halen 3.
Yes, with David Botas. That was the gas too. Lots of things happening. But I guess you want my number 5 Christmas song?
Correct.
Yeah, I'm going to go for a little bit of Ronnie James Dio and God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen. So Dio actually was conflicted. He was asked to sing this song and he goes, well, I'm all about swords and sorcery and the dark side. I'm not sure if I should do it, but he sings it with gusto and aplomb. And you can, if the heavy metal thing didn't work out, I think he would have done all right, singing, doing a little bit of a stocking filler and doing those Christmas albums. But yeah, God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen. Very much the throaty, big voice, singing a traditional carol with a lot of gusto.
And that's on We Wish You a Metal Xmas, I believe, is the name of that album.
Yes.
Excellent. That's a very gothic Christmas tune. I love that one. Now, next up, we have, from his music corner of the world, the man who has just recovered from Montezuma's revenge and is so kind that he's spending his night here instead of on the couch. We have Ebenezer Grinch.
Yes. Yeah, I'm still dealing with it a little bit, but I'm good enough to be on tonight. So
Thank you, man.
all right. So my first pick is a song that was originally done by Joni Mitchell, would then be covered by the Indigo Girls, but my version in particular is going to come from this little CD.
Oh,
Ally McBeal, A Very Ally Christmas. Now, who sings River on this one, you may ask? Oh, there was this guy named Robert Downey Jr.
no.
I don't know if you can see it. Let's see.
Yeah,
Yep,
I
right
see
there
it.
at the bottom. Yep, right there at the bottom. Yeah, he was on the show, and I think it was probably the most popular. It was probably my favorite part of the show. Actually, I kind of dug it. But when you watch the show and he does a little part of it, and you sense the sadness in his character because of, I guess there was a lot of stuff that happened around Christmas time that really makes him kind of sad, and he just plays this kind of quietly and somberly at the piano. It's a really touching, pretty version. So I always liked that one. So yeah, Robert Downey Jr. singing River.
So
Well, blow me down with a feather. I would not have picked that from John Clauser.
right, what I was just going to say is, like, we got two metal guys here, and neither of them have gone Full Metal Jacket.
Well, no,
What?
hold on. He did say it was by Iron Man.
Yes.
Loophole.
So now I got to pay him another $5.
Yeah.
I gotta pay him $5 every time he does that.
Oh, dear.
Now I know the music not mainly as a metal from our metal connection, so I'm just wondering if you're gonna go metal.
No.
Okay. Well, Music Nut, this is your very first pick on Grab a Stack of Rock. Let's have it.
All right. Well, just to show my versatility and my sentimentality, that's right. I'm going to go with a song right now that is currently number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100 since they started putting Christmas songs in the Hot 100 now.
Okay.
It's a
And
Taylor Swift song.
No. This
Spoiler
song was
alert.
recorded in 1963. It's written by Edward Pola and George Weil, and it's The Most Wonderful Time of the Year from Andy Williams. How can you not listen to that song and feel so good and get into the Christmas spirit? I have always loved this song. I mean, I could be down in the dumps, and if I need something to bring me up besides some cold gin, I listen to The Most Wonderful Time of the Year. So there you go. A classic.
The trouble is, now it makes me think of back to school commercials by
Yep.
Staples.
That's right.
Oh, yes, that's true.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's had a long life in those Staples commercials. Yes.
Yeah.
And if you want to go full on metal, there was some guy that dubbed a blast beat version over a Dean Martin version. I think it was.
Jeez.
It's hilarious.
Nice.
Well, thank you. I have two guest lists before I present my number 5. And some of you guys know my pal Uncle Meat, and he was the first in with his guest list. And our first repetition.
Hey, it's Mike, and I have a special guest list here to read from the Meat Man himself, the man who came up with the idea of grabbing a stack of rock. Merry Christmas, Uncle Meat, and this is his list. Number 5, I Believe in Father Christmas by Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Number 4, River by Joni Mitchell. I don't know that one, and someone might have to tell me what that's all about. Number 3, a song that I have multiple versions of, Ring Out Solstice Bells by Jethro Tull, an absolute classic. Speaking of classics, number 2, Christmas Time Is Here Again by the Vince Guaraldi Trio. You know that one from the Charlie Brown Christmas special. And finally, number 1, This one goes out to Roger. It's Christmas with the Devil by Spinal Tap. Merry Christmas, Uncle Meat.
That's,
And yeah, like I hadn't heard River before today, so I played it today.
you haven't heard any version of it?
I've had probably, but it never sunk into the cranium. But it's a
I've
beautiful
heard,
song.
It is a beautiful, beautiful, melancholy song. I have it on Harrison's favorite, Heart. did a version of it on their acoustic album, The Road Home, and I've also heard Sarah McLachlan cover it. Yeah, it's very sad, very melancholy. Like Wish I Could Skate Away, but
Yeah.
that's the second time that River has been mentioned.
That's right. So you know what that means?
Repetition! Repetition! Repetition!
And he's
Well,
gone.
That won't be
He's
the first
disappeared.
time you do that tonight.
No, I have a feeling we might
It-
get sick of that gimmick.
I already know.
Now that we're not doing Metallica lists, it doesn't quite have the same punch. But
Yeah, but
Yeah.
your look on your face sells it.
You'll be surprised.
Look at
Bring
this.
it
Look at
on.
all these responses to Joni Mitchell.
One of
It's
the best
fantastic.
songwriters ever, Joni
Yes.
Mitchell. Absolutely.
And a stunning voice. Okay, so the second one that I have here is a list from my co-captain who could not make it tonight, but Harrison. This is his list, as read by Jex Russell.
Season's greetings! Grab a stack of rockers. Jex Russell here, keeping warm and toasty by the fireplace. And the reason I'm here is to read you the 5 picks of Harrison Kopp's favorite Christmas tunes. Let's get started. The envelope, please! Thank you. Such a kind stranger here. All right, so I'm not sure if these are in any kind of order, worst to best, best to worst. I'm really not sure, so I'm just going to read them in the order that they were sent to me. Here we go. Harrison picks Chris Rea, or Chris Rea, R-E-A, anyway, with a song called Driving Home for Christmas. Secondly, we have Mr. Steven Tyler of Aerosmith with Rockin' on Top of the World, followed by Stormforce with Last Christmas. Is that a Wham cover? Possibly. Dracula himself, Mr. Christopher Lee with Jingle Hell. I gotta check that out. Are you kidding me? Never heard of that. And lastly, we have Slade with Merry Xmas. Merry Xmas, everybody. So those are Harrison's 5 favorite Christmas tunes. Looking forward to hearing everybody's picks. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everyone, and I will see you all in the new year, 2024. Or maybe before. Ciao.
I love my co-captain, but I cannot get into that Christopher Lee metal stuff at all. And
love the
Stormforce.
First time I agree with him. I love the Christopher Lee stuff. It's the most random, like, you wouldn't expect that from him.
No, you wouldn't. You're right. I find it though, like to my ears, it's like listening to a William Shatner album. And if you've ever listened to William Shatner, you know what I'm talking about.
I don't know.
You know,
He can
was
actually
Jack trying to
sing.
do a Paul Stanley impression there?
I don't know what he was trying to do.
Fireplace?
I thought the thing with the envelope was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So we don't have any Blaze. Yeah, Blaze did do a Christmas album, and yeah, there's some crazy albums by Christopher Lee, and in the artwork, he's often holding a sword. It's wild.
Good choice on the Chris Rea. That was one that anybody that's ever worked in retail, you hear the same songs over and over again. But I used to crack everybody up because every time it would come on, I'd be like, "Oh, it's Driving Home for Christmas." It's good. It's fun.
I was going to give him credit for the Stormforce because that's a little recent. That's a little on the obscure side. That's Greg Fraser
That's
from
like
Brighton Rock.
That's some of the. I was going to say that's some of the Brighton Rock guys, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a great track. Okay, so it's time for my number 5, and this one might only be familiar to the 3 Canadians, but it actually comes from a comedy album called The Great White North by Bob and Doug McKenzie. And I have so many fond memories of listening to my parents' AM radio in the mornings, just as Christmas holidays are starting, and this song comes on. And I'm doing something a little different tonight. Instead of showing off physical copies of my records, I am just going to play clips of songs at the cost of monetization. So this is just a few seconds of 12 Days of Christmas by Bob and Doug McKenzie.
On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a beer.
On the second day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 2 turtlenecks
and a beer. On the third day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 3 French toasts,
2 turtlenecks
and a beer.
Okay, that should be more there, right?
Should be longer.
Fourth day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 4 pounds of back bacon,
3 French toasts,
2 turtlenecks,
and a beer.
in a tree. You need more.
A fifth day of Christmas.
Anyway, there you. Oh yeah, beauty, eh?
I just got Doug. I don't have Bob.
So I'm curious how many of you guys know that version.
I
Oh,
have
they-
no
they
idea
play
what
that
the
heavy.
hell that was.
Yeah,
I've known that song forever.
really.
Oh
yeah.
my god.
Well,
Oh gosh, they still play that here in PA.
Now, do you know why Tim Derling owns a copy of that album? It's not for that song.
No, it is. I saw Strange Brew when I was 11 years old, and I thought it was the funniest thing I'd ever seen. It was
Right.
just a nice coincidence that
Geddy Lee
Geddy Lee
sings.
from Rush sings on it, eh? Like decent singing, eh? Yeah.
Here's
yeah,
$5,
yeah.
eh?
Yeah, $10 is $10.
$10.
How come he's not wearing a toque?
Oh, he's not from the Great White North. Eh?
Here's my favorite part, though, is the backwards part. I guess
yeah.
we dog is a hound, guys to the bump, she's nicking on beige nick.
Oh my God, you can tell this guy's listened to this album. Oh my
What
God.
are these guys talking about?
Well, apparently it was played a lot in the States.
Yeah. Bob and Doug McKenzie started as a skit on SCTV, which was what would you call it? Essentially Canada's Saturday Night Live. Like,
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was, except it wasn't live.
and,
Yeah.
and the whole reason that it was Rick Moranis and Dave Thomas, not the Wendy's guy, who they came to them and said they needed 3 minutes of like unabashedly Canadian content, and they thought it was the most ridiculous thing. So they went full on over the top with the winter coats and the toques and the back bacon,
big
and
map,
the little stubby,
a big map.
the big map of Canada, the little stubby beer bottles. And they talk like this, eh? They talk, and it caught on. It became far and away the most popular skit on the show. The downside of it is that most Americans think that's what all Canadians talk like.
Yes.
But yes, and they did recruit. Rick Moranis and Geddy Lee went to junior high school together. They'd known each other forever. So when they did this comedy album, they had this song called "Take Off" because that was an expression they would use, and
Take
they had
off,
Geddy
eh?
singing the chorus. And
remember
as
that
Geddy
song.
says, it was the beginning of his career in comedy, and it's the highest charting song he ever had in the States.
Yeah, number 8.
Yeah.
Well,
Wow.
The album was successful in the States. I think it was a gold record in the States. So
Yes, it was.
I would just like to say I haven't been this confused and lost since the final exam I had in college.
and you
Roger.
call yourself a Canadian, Roger.
Roger, I will send you some video clips, and I'll get you caught up on the brilliance of Bob and Doug McKenzie. Okay?
Well,
he's a youngin. He's a youngin. He
Yeah,
doesn't
I
know.
think you guys all have 30 years on me. So.
Oh!
Except for Tim. Tim looks like he's mine.
Thank you very much. No, I'm
You're welcome.
No ageism on this show. No ageism.
Oh
But in
my.
all honesty, it might not be comedy that I don't know. Maybe I had to be there for it, but I will say that Strange
It was a
Brew,
phenomenon.
Strange Brew, that scene where Rick Moranis had to drink all the beer in the vat, and then they pan up to him. I just about died laughing, like gasping laughing. I'm 11 years old watching this, and it wasn't until also years later I found out that the Strange Brew was very loosely based on Hamlet. Did you know that?
Very, very loosely.
Very loosely based on Hamlet.
Well, there's a ghost in it. I guess that
There's
translates.
the brothers, right? One brother dies, and then and Max von
And-
Sydow was in it.
I was just gonna say, like Max von Sydow plays Brewmeister Smith. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't, and he plays it totally straight.
Oh yeah, he's like,
And part of it was filmed in my hometown of Kitchener, Ontario, where we have like I think the biggest Oktoberfest festival in North America, and they filmed it at our Oktoberfest festival in
Oh, is that
whatever
when
year
they
it was,
filmed the dog-
82.
They paint their dog to look like a skunk, so people will run away and they
Hose
won't drink
head.
the tainted beer.
Yeah.
But when he grabs Paul Dooley's head, he's like, I could crush you like a nut, but I won't because I need you.
And Paul Dooley was no small fry actor either.
No,
So There were some serious actors in that. And what was
my favorite line he had in Strange Brew? And I'm sorry, we're way off base. But my favorite line is when Paul Dooley's being questioned. They said, "Can you explain what time code means?"
Time code.
Just because I don't know what it is doesn't mean I'm lying.
And he says that in court. Oh, that was great.
Time
Okay.
code, which is very hard to fake.
Yeah. Please explain to the court time code.
Yeah. Just because I don't know what it is doesn't mean I'm lying.
We've wasted enough time on my pick.
Yeah.
Tim, please, your number 4.
I think we're going to find there's a lot of this. I mean, yeah, we do typically talk about hard rock and metal, but when it comes to Christmas music, it's kind of all about the classics. And last year, my wife and I did an episode on Tim's Vinyl Confessions talking about our favorite Christmas music, and a lot of it showing
great.
up tonight.
Great episode.
That was a lot of fun. So I'm going with something that I've watched since I was a youngster, and I still enjoy it. We're a couple of misfits.
Oh, yeah. That was just on TV the other night.
You at elf practice.
Nice.
That was a good impression.
That was really good.
I'm impressed.
Shipping manager at work used to call me Hermie based on that guy, the elf that wanted to be the dentist, because I had hair that went like this. So he called me Hermie.
Herbie doesn't want to be an elf.
I want to be a
Telling us
dentist.
what you'd like to be? Well, I'd like to be a dentist. A dentist?
He's so good. He's so good.
You know what? I did a whole thing one year on the radio when I was doing afternoons where I did an interview between myself, Hermie, and Yukon Cornelius talking about like the 50th anniversary of the show. Don't have it anymore, unfortunately. And I had to do the parts separately because I'm not Mel Blanc. I can't switch voices midstream. So, anyway.
Well, I'm
Thinking of
Tim
Mel
has earned
Blanc,
his.
do you know he had a line in Strange Brew, Mike?
Yes, he did. He played Bob and Doug's
He was
father,
their dad. Yeah.
who was actually Dave Thomas with like a mustache, but voiced by Mel Blanc. Yes. We keep going back to my pick. Tim, you've earned your
that's my
pay
pick.
tonight.
We're a couple of misfits from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
A fantastic pick. Brilliant. Metal Roger. Roger. Your number.
It's funny. I literally have a list, and I'm kind of just throwing my phone away now because I feel like I've just changed my 4th pick to Run Rudolph Run by Lemmy.
Yes.
And Dave Grohl.
Yes.
Because I literally completely forgot about that song until I started talking about like 20 minutes ago. So I'm like, I love Lemmy. In the summer, I am planning to get a Motorhead tattoo, and that'll be like my only prop in any show. I'll just stand up and show off my hairy legs. But
Nice.
that
You're welcome to do that.
okay. The first version was Chuck Berry, right?
Yes.
Okay. That's good too.
That's a brilliant tune. That's with Dave Grohl on drums. And I think, was it Duff McKagan on bass? I can't remember.
Billy Gibbons.
Oh, Billy Gibbons on guitar. Yeah. And Lemmy on bass. Yeah. Funny story about that one, Roger. I used to make Christmas mix CDs every year when making CDs was a thing. And the year that I got that album, which I believe was Merry Xmas Volume 2, if I am correct, I put that song on the mix CD. And we're driving over to my grandma's house on Christmas Day, me and my sister. And that song gets played. My sister's a professional musician, by the way. She plays bass clarinet. She's very serious about her music.
Neat.
That song comes on and Lemmy's, and she goes, "What in the fuck is this? These guys are allowed to make albums and I can't? What the hell?"
Wow.
She might not have said fuck, but she was really pissed off when she heard that song. And she felt, I kind of felt like she was taking it as a personal insult that this was an actual song while she was a struggling musician. End of story. Over to you, down under, Mr. Peter Kerr.
Do they have a Grammy category for the best Christmas song? I wonder. Anyway,
I don't know. I don't think so.
yeah, they should.
They could.
Yeah. Oh. I'm going to pick the Ronettes, Frosty the Snowman. That's a perennial in the Kerr household where we play the Phil Spector Christmas album. It's absolute genius. It's got the Phil Spector Wall of Sound and Frosty the Snowman by the Ronettes. I love it.
Nice.
I love them. That's great. I don't know that version.
You want me to sing it for you?
Really? It's like
No,
the
that-
definitive version
that's okay.
of Frosty the Snowman.
Well, I'm most familiar.
Yeah, thank you. I was just gonna say I wanted to hear the singing. Just speak for everyone.
Well,
That sounds
I was
more
going to
like-
say the one that I'm familiar with is the one from the cartoon, which I don't know who sang it. Who was that? Leon Redbone?
Jimmy
No.
Durante? No.
I can't remember.
John Goodman.
Burl Ives.
No,
That
no.
was a sequel.
Burl Ives
Bill Ives.
Burl Ives was Rudolph, wasn't he?
Yeah, Burl Ives was Rudolph. Jimmy Durante.
Does that have that
was the
scene where he
narrator.
goes, I'm melting,
Yes.
I'm melting?
Made me cry, Peter.
That's not the first time I've made you cry. Anyway,
No.
won't be the last.
We have Kyle in the house. What's going on, guys? We are counting down our top 5 Christmas songs, and that is Peter Kerr's number 4. And now we're on to Ebenezer Grinch's number 4, otherwise known as John Clausen.
Right. So,
JC.
so most of my picks actually are not going to be much on the metal or anything like that. And my next pick will definitely be along that line. So one of the I think I may have mentioned this on Grab a Stack of Rock before, but one of the very first shows where I actually had a guest on was when my wife and I did our favorite Muppet movie songs. Okay.
Oh.
So that was a lot of fun. So naturally, of course, I'm going to pick something from the Muppets, although it's not going to be what you think, though.
Okay.
On this little CD here called A Green and Red Christmas.
Nice.
You see this little guy over here? See, where is he? Pepe. Oh, Pepe the Shrimp here. You know, the Pepe the Shrimp. Yeah, he's a macho man, the latest man kind of thing. He does Merry Christmas Baby on this. And it just suits whoever, I forget the guy who voiced it, but it suits him perfectly. Merry Christmas, baby. I don't remember the rest of the
Is
words.
this
I
a
love
night
it.
of impressions or something?
I just absolutely dig Merry Christmas Baby as sung by Pepe Le Shrimp from the Muppets.
And now, is that how it's actually
Is that
credited
name-
on the back of the CD?
Hang on.
I'm just curious.
Pepe.
Oh, that's
But
great.
Pepe is the shrimp.
I thought his name was Pepe the King Prawn.
I think that's right. I think that is
King
actually
Prawn,
correct.
okay.
Yeah, I
Is
think
that
that
him?
is actually correct.
That's
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how long that guy, keeping it in character for that whole song? Give him a glass of
Oh
water.
my.
It's hard to
yes.
sing in character.
Jason!
It's hard enough to do a voice, but to sing in that voice
Sing in
takes
character.
a lot of talent.
Says a guy who's been doing voices all night, so I think he knows.
I can't
I
sing
did a
in
Kermit
character,
impression, and no one even heard the Kermit the Frog impression. Like,
There's been too many.
no one's talked about Kermit yet.
you know what? Okay, I'm not doing that again because that was way better. I'm done. I'm just gonna go. Over
I don't have
here.
any. I don't have any impressions.
Here, look at my cat.
Anyway, let's go to the music nut. John,
Yeah,
Do you-
sorry.
are
sorry.
Save
you
us
going
from
to-
this insanity.
John, are you going to talk in a voice, or are you just going to give us the straight pick?
Oh no, I'm gonna give you this straight stuff, old funk master. Now, it's time to play repetition again.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
Oh,
Get out the guitar, Tim. Get out the guitar.
Get out the guitar because, like Mr. Uncle Meat, I'm gonna go with I Believe in Father Christmas by Greg Lake. Hit it!
Repetition! Repetition! Repetition!
You gotta love it.
I
Is
just
there a
wanna go- I just
5-minute
wanna
version
say-
of that clip?
There's a
I just wanna
longer
say-
version.
Yeah.
Do you want
It
to
just
hear the longer
repeats itself.
version
The
next
longer
time?
version just repeats itself a lot. So
Yeah. Do you want to hear the longer
Yeah.
version next time, Peter? I can certainly do
Yeah,
that.
I think so. I think
Yeah.
that
Okay.
let's
Are you
release
sure
it. Let's
he
release
didn't
it as a
mess
single.
up the riff like Kirk does lately? You know, he's messing up his own riff that he's
I think-
played 1,000 times.
I think the real
Yeah.
Tim is frozen at. Oh, there he is. He's back.
No, I never went anywhere. Y'all. No, I never went.
No.
I was just going to say that I remember now because it was on Meat's list and then it was on John's list. Greg Lake, I believe in Father Christmas. Honeymoon Suite do a very, very, very faithful version of that. Like very, very close. And I like both versions, but the Honeymoon Suite version, which got played a lot in the late 80s because Warner Music put out a CD with like Canadian acts on Warner doing Christmas songs. Mike, help me out. What was it called?
Oh gosh, I can't remember the Christmas one.
Frozen Ghost was on it. Anyway, that's where it came from.
I just want to ask John a quick question though. You said Greg Lake and Meat said Emerson, Lake and Palmer.
It was Greg Lake. But what happened was Greg Lake released it as a single in 1975, and Peter Sinfield wrote the lyrics. He wrote the lyrics on the first 4 King Crimson albums. And then later on, when Emerson, Lake and Palmer put out Works Volume 2, they put a version out with ELP playing on it as well. But the one that you hear on the radio is the Greg Lake version.
Okay, gotcha.
It's like an honorary ELP song, right?
And that's why he's John's co-captain and not me.
Oh, Sting.
Oh.
Didn't know
What
it
a
was
genius.
Didn't know it was a competition. Competition.
Play it again.
Well, you are going to hear it again because my number 4 is a song that somebody picked. I think it was Roger. Picked Blue Christmas. Was it you, Roger?
Yes.
Okay, so this is repetition, but I'm picking a different version. This is a very interesting
Joe
instrumental. Yes. Hawaiian guitar instrumental version. Let's give a few seconds of a listen. With slide.
Well, he's already used the whammy bar a lot less than Kurt Hammock does these days. Hammett, not hammock.
That's right, not hammock. Anyway, I really love that version, and it frequently makes it onto my Christmas mix CDs every Christmas. And I just think, Joe Perry, sometimes he goes underappreciated.
I agree.
Tell Roger to bubble head to the beat. Okay. Next time, Roger, you got to bubble head to the beat. But that was a repeat song, and Peter Kerr has requested the full-length version. So
repetition.
Well done.
It's going to get repetitive.
It'll get beat out by Jethro Tull in the next Grammy Awards.
And then he gets out the wah-wah pedal and it's going wow, 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 wow.
That's the extended remix. And you can look for these on Tim's Bandcamp that we'll be launching shortly. Anyway, Tim, that's a good enough segue to go to your number 3 selection.
Okay, so the version that is the perennial version is the original from '79, I think it's from. But all things metal and all things here in Canada, and we talk about this band a lot because we do like them. There is a version of it on here.
I like that
but
album.
I have to say that one of my favorite, I guess you could call it a quote unquote modern Christmas song, is "Wonderful Christmas Time" by Paul McCartney.
Yeah, that's a good one.
There's a very specific reason that I like it. It reminds me of Christmas Day as a kid in the afternoon after everybody's opened their presents. Maybe mom and dad are taking a nap, and I got my Lego out, or I got my Atari, or whatever it is I got that Christmas, and I've got the radio on. It's all good. It's all warm and fuzzy. Now, it's funny because I when Sarah and I did our episode, in her family, that song always made them think of being in a rush to finish your Christmas shopping because it would be on the PA, and there'd be something about the echo of the keyboards, and it would just feel like, I got to get this done. But I had the opposite reaction. It reminds me of just being at home and sanctuary and just enjoying my toys, and
Yeah.
it's all good. So yeah,
That's
so
a
when I
good
hear
feeling.
it takes me right back. And apparently that song accounts for some ridiculous percentage of McCartney's yearly income, never mind everything else he ever did. Just that one song. So if you can get a Christmas song that connects with people, oh, you're laughing.
Absolutely.
Anyway, that's it.
That's true.
Yeah. And I have so many of the same memories. You and I were kind of separated at birth, and we used to.
I do think so. Yeah.
We used to wait for the
realize what
afternoon.
The song
and,
was for many years. I didn't know that it was as recent as it was. I probably heard it when it was about 4 or 5 years old. I thought it was way older. I guess maybe I thought it was the Beatles. I don't know, but I guess it really couldn't be with those synths, could it?
Well, not really. I did want to mention one thing. Sorry, I forgot this from your first time you went around. You said that she didn't have any Christmas albums. You'd never really met a person that didn't have any Christmas albums in the house. Well,
That was
we
my
didn't either.
grandmother. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Well, we didn't either. We listened to the radio. We had one of those big, family stereos, and the big wooden things, the Beasts. We had one of those in the living room, and they just set it to probably CBC. And then when we got in the car, they would switch the radio to CBC, and we would just listen to Christmas music that way on those days. Look at all these people joining tonight.
My parents had like Gene Autry Christmas records, Elvis, of course, Charlie Pride.
We never had any. We never had any.
And then
just the radio.
And then just mixed ones, right? I think there was mixed ones that Reader's Digest sold or something. I just always remember there being a handful, but yeah.
Yeah. All right. Metal Roger, are you going metal on your number 3?
Yes, I am. And I like to think Klauser is relatable to this because not just because UPS lost the packages, but he probably thinks some of the people don't deserve presents. King Diamond, no presents for Christmas.
Oh, nice. That's inspired.
Yeah, and look, I don't even have any notes. That's just because I have charisma. Anyway, I love King Diamond. I think King Diamond is the most ridiculous singer. Like when I saw him live, it sounded exactly the same as the CD, and I don't know how that's possible. He's inhuman. But I don't know. I like this song. Maybe it's because I'm biased and love King Diamond. But yeah, had to include him.
I think it takes 30 years to get used to his vocals.
Joey is saying that Roger is the Grinch. He swears it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Well, I did used to work with him, and he's probably right because Christmases at Canada Post were not fun. Someone once called and complained about a package coming too quick. Why are you calling? You have so many.
Believe it.
Yeah,
I believe it. Anyone that's worked in retail, I can believe it.
You could time is valuable. Why? You're calling to complain about anyway.
One of these days, Roger, you and I will have to do an episode that's just nothing but ridiculous customer complaints.
That's part of my comedy act that I.
There you go. We'll do it. 2024, Roger and I will do a show.
That'll probably be a 4-hour show, I imagine.
Yeah, we'll just keep going until there's no more gas.
I'm sure I could get in there too.
Okay, then. Let's call it a date. Anyway, get away from Grinchy Roger and to Peter Kerr with the Christmas tree in the background and everything festive.
I'm going to pick an Australian band that probably nobody on this call knows. Mental as Anything, new wave garage rock band.
I remember that name.
Yeah, so they did a Christmas song, I think it was in 1984, called Apocalypso, Wiping the Smile Off Santa's Face. So it's got a bit of surf guitar, it's got a little bit of slide, and the lyrics go, Santa Claus is drinking beer, trying not to worry, hearing things he doesn't want to hear because he's in a hurry to say goodbye, So it's got a lot of humor, very Aussie. Check it out. Apocalypso, Wiping the Smile Off Santa's Face.
And they were called, Mental what?
Mental as Anything.
Mental as Anything.
I remember that name.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I can't think of any of their songs, but I remember the name.
They featured in the Crocodile Dundee movie. They had a song called "Give It Up." Yeah, they had a couple of songs. Yeah.
Well, that's cool. That's definitely. There's no repetition with that one. Hello, Michael. I hope you are having a wonderful evening, and thanks for joining us and talking about these awesome Christmas songs with the actual Grinch, Ebenezer Grinch, up next with his number 3.
All right, so my number 3 comes from this 1993 album here called from a man named Rich Mullins, Liturgy, Legacy, and a Ragamuffin Band. And there's a little song on here called "You Gotta Get Up." It's in parentheses the Christmas song, and it basically, the song is a song that it basically is like, as you're remembering the magic of Christmas morning as a kid. You know, I thought Christmas Day would never come. Well, the day is finally here. So, you know, you got to get up. You got to get up. It's Christmas morning. Mom and Dad stayed up too late last night. They must have got carried away in the candle. They must have got carried away in the Christmas candlelight. But you got to get up. You got to get up. You got to get up. It's Christmas morning. Anyway, but the song also talks about the reason we have Christmas. And it also makes a lot of references to that, but it really is just a very cute and magical song about just trying to capture that magic of Christmas as a child, which I probably haven't felt that in a very long time. So there you go. But it's a great song.
Very cool. And now the Music Nut with your number 3.
All right, you ever have one of those songs where the lyrics are so hysterical that you're all just standing around in circle, just listening to the lyrics because it's so funny? Well, that's mine. I got a parody here. This is from Bob Rivers' Twisted Christmas album, and it's the 12 Pains of Christmas.
Yes. Does that count as repetition?
It's Pains.
But is it the same song? Same melody?
Same melody, okay.
Okay, well, that's repetition.
Repetition! Repetition! Repetition!
Hello.
Okay, so here's the thing. Maybe we should on that because people are gonna be like, I hate that guy.
That's probably the last one. Not the last repetition, but the last time we run it. I know that one. And you know who was involved with the production of all those Bob Rivers albums? Mr. Kelly Gray. Former Queensryche and Jeff Tate guitarist. Yeah. He produced a lot of those Bob Rivers records. Yeah.
Nice.
Fun fact. Good pick. So we've gone comedy for a couple of these.
I love the 12 Pains of Christmas. That is an awesome song.
Well, we've already done Roger's number 4, so it is not Mariah Carey. I am sorry to tell you. My number 3. Yes, we're on my number 3. Roger, don't forget you have to head bop. That was the request. You had to.
Okay, yeah. He's French, so I don't know if I want to listen to that. So,
well, you just have to bop along to the song.
Okay.
I had a sort of a choice here. I wanted to do a real good Christmas banger, and that Lemmy one is definitely a great Christmas banger. But ultimately, I kind of felt somebody else was going to pick it, so I went with another one from Merry Xmas Volume 2, "Deck the Halls" by Mr. Ted Nugent.
There's my ball. I would like to say I didn't think Ted Nugent would like Christmas because he hates everything else. So.
Because he hates everything else. Well, that's a valid point.
Just because he goes hunting for deer all the time. I mean,
I guarantee you, his Christmas table will be a very good feast.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys hear that one squeal that he did there, though? That, oh, my God.
He is so bloody good, but the fact that he's an absolute lunatic completely overshadows it. And it's a complete shame. It truly is.
I am glad that he leaves his personal things out of a lot of his music. There's very, very little of his politics creeping into his music. It's mostly just about girls and cars and you know, the as political as he gets is I like my barbecue. But anyway, I really love his version of Deck the Halls. I think it's absolutely smashing. That's not repetition yet anyway. These Merry Xmas albums, they're really good. Steve Vai compiled these, I believe, or was involved with the production. You know,
Yeah, he was the executive producer. I have the first one. I don't have the second one.
The first one's the best one, but the Nugent one's on the second one. Alex Lifeson's on this one. Steve Vai, Joe Perry, Richie Sambora. Yeah.
Steve Morse.
Brian Setzer Orchestra, Jeff Beck, and Eric Johnson. Oh, and Kenny Wayne Shepherd. I mean, those are some fantastic players. Christmas Card from a Hooker in Minneapolis by Tom Waits. I don't know that one.
I gotta check that out. I got some of his stuff, but not that.
All right, we're heading into the number 2 round. I'm going to take a quick break to check up on my wife, and we'll just play a quick song so we can all take a breather, refill our drinks, whatever. What will I play that's a quick song? Here's a good one. This is only 3 minutes long. This is Down on the Streets by Paul McLeod. We'll see you in 3 minutes.
Down in the street they got something going on. Don't tell my baby I'm gonna forget some. Baby, she's been gone, and I can't do but wrong to my baby. Down in the street they got snowflakes around. Old painted ladies on bright corners with blue hearts. Baby, she's been gone, and I can't do but wrong to my baby. Don't cry for me as I tear out my own heart. This misery is mine, it's all I got. So let me be. They all know what I see. Down in the street they got something going on. Don't tell my baby I've gone for kids. Baby, she's been gone, and I can't do but wrong to my baby.
There's a reason I picked Paul McLeod, because when the Meat Man sent me his list earlier, Paul McLeod apparently covered River by Joni Mitchell many times. So yeah, that was Paul McLeod with Down in the Streets. Tim, you are bringing us to our number 2 round. What do you got?
Well, a band that, if Grant was still watching, he'd be very on board with this.
Yeah.
The Darkness, Christmas Time, Don't Let the Bells End. I love these guys. What can I say?
Me too. I didn't pick that one because I was hoping one of you guys would. So that's fantastic. And check out Tim's Vinyl Confessions. We did an extensive episode on the top reissues of 2023, and we spent a good deal of time on the Permission to Land reissue, which contains a couple different versions of that song, because there's live stuff too. Yeah. So excellent pick from him. And now we're heading to Metal Roger, who's changed his shirt. He's now sporting King Diamond.
I figured I could. If Mariah Carey can do it, I can do it.
I should have changed my shirt. I got all those new ones.
Costume change, yeah.
Exactly. I just wanted to show off all my band T-shirts that my wife hates. Anyway, speaking of my wife, she hates 90% of the time when this band comes on, but it is AC/DC and Mistress for Christmas.
I was hoping somebody would pick it.
And I always try to sing like Brian Johnson or Bon Scott. She can't stand it. I don't care. So all my songs are kind of like, anti-Christmas kind of. I don't want a Mistress for Christmas. 2 of them would be too much for me. No, thank you.
And that's a good reason as any. I'm really glad you picked that, because I used to sneak that on my Christmas mix CDs and see if anybody kind of complained, and a couple people did.
Bonus track.
That's an Australia segue, so that's perfect to bring us into Peter's number 2 pick.
Okay, well, this is the sort of Christmas song that I'd be listening to probably 10 minutes before closing at a pub, an Irish pub, and you've got to have the Pogues' Fairy Tale of New York. It's just so much drama, whimsy within 4 minutes. And, you've got a Guinness in one hand and having a sing-along. I think it's just the quintessential Christmas song. Fairy Tale of New York, the Pogues with Kirsten.
Brilliant. Ebenezer Grinch, your number 2.
Takes on another meaning this year with the death of Shane MacGowan.
That's right. Yes. Good point. Ebenezer Grinch.
All right.
Number 2.
My number 2. So yeah, I'm pretty certain most of my picks would not get the repetition, except for River, of course. But so my number 2, this came out in the mid 90s. I believe it's like 95. And this was a side project recorded by William Samus, who was of the band Warlord, that came out in the 80s with an album called Deliver Us. Peter and I did a show on that on that album. Well, William and his then wife did a project that was called Lordian Guard. Okay. And it's just mainly the 2 of them, mostly him playing, and there's some drum programming going on. But there's a song at that ends the CD called "In Peace He Comes Again," and it's almost a very sad, a little bit on the melancholy feel, because it's in D minor, so it is the saddest of all keys. But it really is kind of one of those songs where it talks about, does December is it always in our minds, or does it just pass by and it's already here, and here we are again? But one of the last lines in the song is it's Christmas time again, to give, to share with friends. And what better time to do a Christmas episode and to share amongst friends? So In Peace He Comes Again, Lordian Guard. It's a beautiful, beautiful track. Highly recommend to check it out. Rest in peace, Bill Samus from Warlord. He passed away a couple of years ago. Yeah, wonderful, wonderful track.
You are definitely avoiding the repetition tonight, sir.
Oh, way to get to my number 1.
Okay.
I know what that is. It's probably my number 1. So you might as well just play it for the next 5 minutes, just on loop.
But before we do that, we have to get to the music nuts number 2.
All right. Hi, Mom. Say hi to my mom, guys.
Hey, Mom.
Hello.
Hey, John's mom. That's awesome.
Thanks for watching.
Hi, Mom.
Number 2. I was responding in the chat, Mom. I guess it just didn't come up. Number 2, I am officially doing a Ravishing Rick Rude right now because I am now on Grant's Rock Warehouse talking about Whitford St. Holmes.
Oh, so
meaning I'm in 2 places at the same time, like Ravishing Rick Rude did in WCW and WWF back in late 90s.
Late
I
90s.
believe. Yeah, so that's where that came from. But Tim Durling knows where John's going now. My number 2. Because we did a show on this artist, a Dark Horse artist, on the Contrarians. And I went on this spiel about how this song doesn't get played at Christmas anymore. And it's a shame.
Yes.
And it's Billy Squier. Christmas is a time to say I love you. What a fantastic rockin' Christmas song that you hardly ever hear. I haven't even heard it this year yet. I don't know what's going on. So I don't know why it doesn't get played. This was I didn't realize this until I did my research. This was the B-side to My Kind of Lover. I had no idea.
And I believe it was recorded live at MTV.
That I knew because I remember seeing the video back in the day.
Yeah.
Because they used to always play it at Christmas time in the 80s.
Yeah.
But nope. You never hear it. Never hear it anymore. I don't know. Billy must have pissed off the wrong people, huh? But I love the song. That's my number 2.
So with John, we get a B-side, which is cool. I think that might be our first B-side tonight.
There you go.
Maybe.
We made it the A-side.
Sorry, what's that?
We made it the A-side.
We made it the A-side, just like Beth in Detroit Rock City.
It's number 1 in his heart. Or number 2, sorry.
That's right. Now look at
They
this.
can only be number 2.
Mom said hi to you, Mike.
Look at this guy trying to skip the line here, but no, I go next. My number 2 is a band. I can't remember if Peter likes these guys or not. Marillion?
Me? I don't mind them. I've got one
You
of
don't
their
mind
albums, Misplaced Childhood. That's about it.
Okay.
They're all right.
Well, they have a ton of Christmas albums. Here's a compilation of them, which I haven't even opened yet. It's still sealed because I have an earlier edition of this. This is an extended collection of recycled gifts. But I think of all of Marillion's Christmas songs, of which there are many from many Christmas albums, I think I Saw 3 Ships the best. And here's a little clip of that one.
I saw 3 ships come sailing in on Christmas Day, on Christmas Day. I saw 3 ships come sailing in on Christmas Day in the morning.
You can really hear that's that Steve Rothery rhythm guitar part there. I love Marillion, although I'm what do you call it when you haven't been keeping up with the band? Did you call it a fan that's kind of in lapse?
Lapse?
Yeah, I think I'm kind of a lapsed fan because
as opposed to prolapsed.
I think in the States we call it a fair weather fan.
I haven't kept up with Marillion. You have to be a subscriber to their fan club magazine in order to get these Christmas albums every year, except for this one. This one was, you could buy it, but all the other ones, you have to be a subscriber, and I just haven't had it in my budget to subscribe this year. So I think I missed the 2023 Christmas album by Marillion, and I might have to, seek it out on Discogs for like $100 or something stupid.
Late
tax. We got lots of comments here. Was the Squire song ever released on CD, and was it on any compilation? I don't know. Music Nut, do you?
It's not. I have a double disc best
believe
of his, and it's not on there unless it's on some Christmas, like a Rhino Christmas thing. But
maybe.
And that could be the answer to the question why it's not getting played anymore, right? So
maybe it's not available digitally.
Maybe that could be. In which case, I say to the record labels, get on it. All right, Tim, this is it. This is the last round. Your number 1 Christmas pick.
I can't remember if it was Meat or whether it was Harrison that already said this, but so there's some repetition. I don't have the Hatfield voice tonight.
We don't need to. We don't need to do it.
One of my favorite Christmas albums of all time, Vince Guaraldi Trio.
Yes.
Yeah.
Charlie Brown Christmas. Like it so much. I've got it on CD and I've got it on lenticular vinyl.
Oh, I want that.
Oh,
I want that.
Oh man.
And I'm gonna go with Christmas Time is Here.
It's here
Beautifully,
again.
beautifully recreated. I might add on that first Merry Xmas by Steve Vai playing the melody. Very, yeah, very nice. I like it on the CD. It goes from the instrumental version into the vocal version. So yeah, I mean, I like everything on here. I like the, My Little Drum and just the skating instrumental. I love this album so much. This brings
Me
back
too.
all kinds of good memories.
Does that have Linus and Lucy on it?
Oh yeah.
Okay. One of my runners up was a version of Linus and Lucy done by Wynton and Ellis Marsalis. They did a Peanuts themed album, and God, so many good memories. Like we were talking earlier about being kids, and when those Christmas specials started airing, it was hard to stay calm. We just wanted Christmas to come, and I got to get me that. That's beautiful.
That's a special record store day, Tim, is it?
Yeah, that was given to me by a friend of mine. I think that was limited lenticular edition. So what I like about it, it's a slightly different cover. It's got all the same characters on it. It's the same basic it's the drawing of the same thing, but it's a totally different picture. Like this one's slightly more modern looking, but this has, especially if you look at Snoopy, it's more the classic late 50s, early 60s look.
Oh yeah.
Character.
Excellent.
So where was I going? Oh my goodness, getting old sucks. It went right out of my head. Anyway,
the olds.
Right in the field. No, it's gone. I won't waste any more time.
Okay.
Gone.
Am I hearing a voice? Anyway, I'm hearing voices. Roger, would you like to go next?
Yes. Even though my wife's trying to talk to me.
Oh, that was her. Okay, I thought it was mine.
Yeah. No, you're not going nuts. There's no alcohol in that drink you're drinking.
You don't know that.
Well, this is alcoholic eggnog. I'm really in this Christmas spirit.
You really are.
Well, I'm glad to have you. Somebody's got to be in the Christmas spirit.
Yeah. Anyway, first, I think you should play the clip. Okay.
Sorry, you want me to play the repetition clip?
You might as well. Because,
okay. One last time, we will play the repetition clip.
Repetition! Repetition! Repetition!
Repetition!
Seeing as Harrison never plays by the rules, and he picked all those Million Chicken Feet songs.
Yes, he did.
I refuse to pick just one number one song just because it's impossible. So I have to pick Charlie Brown, Christmas Time is Here, and Christmas with the Devil. So,
two repetitions. That's a double repetition.
Here we go again.
I'm not going to play it again.
I watch Charlie Brown every single Christmas Eve. My wife's just saying, "Oh my God!"
Does she not like that show? She doesn't like the Charlie Brown Christmas.
She doesn't like. Well, I have this. It's a confession. I have this weird thing. It's not weird. I love Christmas movies.
That's fine. That's good.
So I watch all of my 20 classics every day leading up to Christmas. So
that's cool. It's like an advent calendar of movies.
Exactly.
You want to get me something for my birthday? Get me
Exactly.
slippers.
1 second.
Okay. Well, thank you, Roger.
Anyway, anyway.
Live TV, folks. Anything can happen. Anything can happen.
My wife always talks, so I'm used to it.
But we love her anyway.
My wife wanted to mention, we did have this comment about the Helix Christmas. My wife wanted to mention that her favorite number one for Christmas songs is All I Want for Christmas is the Leafs to Win the Cup by Helix, which good luck, guys. That's all I got to say to that. Good luck.
I have never listened to Helix other than that song that was sung by good old Ricky and Trailer Park Boys.
Oh, we're gonna need to indoctrinate him.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to send Roger a whole bunch of music clips and all kinds of stuff. Well, thank you so much for that one, Roger. Those two really. You cheater, pumpkin eater. Peter Kerr's not going to cheat with his number one. I know him. He's a man of good standing. He's a man of integrity, and he's going to go out on a good note.
Yes, I am. I am, my friend. And it's going to be a very traditional one. This song actually kind of makes me a little bit sad. It's got a bit of melancholy in it. I'm going to pick John Lennon, Merry Xmas, The War Is Over. For some reason, I hear this song, but it kind of makes me sad. And sometimes you need sad songs that can be at the same time uplifting. So that's my choice. But yeah, Merry Christmas, The War Is Over by John Lennon.
Sad songs say so much.
They do indeed. And I did actually pick the Darkness, the same one, but maybe we just bench the repetition song.
Yeah, we'll just bench the repetition. And just for your own curiosity, Marillion covered Happy Christmas or Happy Xmas on this. It's actually the very first track. Happy Xmas, War Is Over. There's some great stuff on here, by the way. Let It Snow is good. They do kind of like a drunken version of Let It Snow. But this brings us to John Clauser with your final pick, your number one.
All right. Well, first, before I even do my final pick, there are two albums that I have to say, actually three, because I made a little bit of a last minute switch, but with one of my songs. But there's three albums that are very essential listening to me for Christmas. If I'm going to really listen to holiday music, this is one of them. Winter Solstice, Windham Hill. It's mostly instrumental stuff, but it's more of a Christmas atmosphere, of wintry kind of atmosphere, with a couple maybe Christmas songs done in really new agey music-y styles or whatever. But it's nice, soothing, relaxing stuff, which is kind of nice after working a day of retail all day long. But the other, of course, that's essential listening is this classic. Mm-hmm. You got, Mom's a huge fan, so I know this is probably his best of all his Christmas albums, as far as I'm concerned. To me, that's an essential. So, no, I'm going to really cheat with you guys on this one because I wrote a Christmas song, and I quite like it. Now, for anybody who knows me well, you will know that I talk a lot about my faith. I talk a lot about my church and different things of that nature. And so there was a time when I played music for a children's ministry at my church. And I had this idea of wanting to write a Christmas song that tied in with their curriculum. And I wrote a song and I even made a little do-it-yourself.
Aww.
It's a great CD, folks. Seriously,
and it's
really good.
And it's a little song called "What Is Christmas to You?" And the idea was, how do you truly explain biblical truths of Christmas to young children, and almost like children asking God, "Well, what is Christmas to you?" kind of thing. So that's kind of where the song goes, but. I don't have a full version. It's just me on guitar. It's just all it is. But one day I will do a full band recording. But I wrote that back in like 2009, something like that. But anyway, what is Christmas? So yeah, if that got a repeat, I would have been really shocked. But yes.
Well, if you send it to me in the next 2 minutes, I could. No, I'm just kidding. Is that CD? Can people buy that? Can people stream it somewhere?
This is just a do-it-yourself. I basically,
but Peter's heard it somehow.
He has a copy of it, and I need to.
Yes, I think so.
And there's a few others on this panel that I need to get one too. But because I don't remember.
Are you talking about me?
I can't remember if I sent you one, Roger. But
you might as well mail.
Yeah. Well, I gotta get a bunch of people's here, but I need to make some more anyway. But yeah, it's just a bunch of songs I had written and recorded. There's a few songs where I play on that I don't write the songs, but I just play on them. Yeah, it's
Well, that's really cool, John. And sorry, Peter.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I love John's music. He's got a really, he's got an own style, and it's kind of part David Byrne meets a bit of Mick Jagger. It's not what you would expect John Clauser to, you know, if you look at the guy, you think he's going to sing in a particular type, but I love your style of music, John. Get it out there, mate.
Thank you.
Seriously.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I want to hear some of your tunes.
Okay.
And that's also, by the way, a first time on Grab a Stack of Rock that a panel member has been able to have a song picked, as far as I know.
A very cheap plug.
You know what? You're endorsed by Rock Daydream Nation. That's good enough for me, bro. John the Music Nut, what is your number one selection tonight?
Well, thank you, Mike. And if you want to hear John play this song, just go to My Music Corner.
Yeah, is it on there?
True. Yes, it is. I do have a video of it on there.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
Thank you for reminding me of that.
Look at this. If you didn't have your co-captain, you would have missed on that plug.
Yeah, I didn't even know that.
I'm still recovering from Montezuma's revenge. So
yeah,
give me a
true.
break.
We'll give him a break, but we will give John the Music Nut full credit. Thank you for coming on tonight and everything else.
Thank you. And anyway, my number one is the biggest selling single in the history of music, 50 million copies and counting. And everybody and their mother and people living under rocks have heard it. It's Bing Crosby's White Christmas.
Beautiful song, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was just, I could not put that, I could not put that at number one. It's just another one, like, you know, Most Wonderful Time of the Year. How can you not get into it? But it's a much more somber song, but it's just a beautiful song. And it's at I wrote it down. It's at number 18 right now on the Billboard Hot 100. It went to number one in 1942, and then went back to number one in 1943 and 1944. 50 million copies sold. And the next one, I think, is 33 million. I couldn't tell you the song now, but 50 million people have bought White Christmas.
That's incredible. And everybody knows it.
Especially sad and melancholy if you see it in context of the movie. Because it's in a war zone when he sings it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. It's not a war movie by any stretch.
Right.
But things it anyway. I won't spoil it.
Well, you know, interestingly enough, Bing, we didn't get Bing Bowie tonight. Which I kind of almost expected. I kind of almost expected Band-Aid let them know it's Christmas.
Bing and Bowie is fantastic, as is the Will Ferrell, John C. Reilly parody of it.
Yes, that is good.
Both.
And
I have to
TSO.
watch one right
There you
after
go.
the other.
TSO did make it onto my family mix CD. There was another one that I was thinking we didn't hear tonight, and I was kind of almost expecting, but it slipped my mind. I guess it's time for my number one. And this is a song that, actually, this is the reason I decided to play clips tonight, is just because you guys don't know Hawksley Workman. And Hawksley Workman you've heard of him, but I don't think you know his songs.
Heard a couple of them.
Okay. Well, he's an East Coast guy, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4 Hawksley Workman songs made it onto my Christmas mix CD. All four are brilliant. Common Cold. Just stuck at home with the common cold. There's a song here called Claire Fontaine, which is about a girl who makes special Christmas wrapping paper that he loves. A song called 3 Generations, which is a beautiful portrait of 3 generations of family all working together in the kitchen on Christmas Day, making that feast for the family. And you know, it's a melancholy to me, because that's an experience that I can never have in my family again. I've seen it happen, but I can never happen in my family again. But the one that I picked is Jolly. I went with The First Snow of the Year.
It's the first snow of the year. I guess it happens once a year. It's the first snow of the year. Oh, glory. And dogs in the neighborhood are going crazy. And even all the old ones that are usually lazy. It's
a brilliant album. It's called Almost a Full Moon is the name of his album. And I actually way back in the day, bought it twice because he issued an original, I think, 8-track version of the album, and then he put it out with 2 more bonus tracks on it. So I was like, I love this album so much, I got to buy it again. And I highly recommend Hawksley Workman's Almost a Full Moon. It is front to back a great album. I can play it in the summer, and I still love it. And that's not usually my thing. I usually only play Christmas music during December, but that Hawksley Workman is so damn good. I can play it anytime, and I actually think it's Hawksley's best album, and he's got quite a few. And that's my number 1. I don't have any runners up or anything else to read. Thank you.
Well done.
Fun show.
You're welcome.
And congratulations to Tim for making it through an entire show without glitching. Whew, I was worried tonight, my friend. Oh God. Okay.
You're wrong in my picture right now.
Funny guy. So as you guys know, at the end of the show, I always like to go around and just catch up with what everybody's doing. So
can I make a shout out?
Yeah.
Somebody's been commenting, Whoa Bird. That's my friend Marty LeBlanc, organizer of the Riverview Record Expo. You've seen him on my shows.
Oh yeah.
Thanks for commenting, Marty.
Yes, as always.
See you in the Spring Expo.
But Tim, let's plug what you got. Go on to your Amazon.com or .ca
or .uk or .au, wherever your home country is. And
here it is,
guys. It's it's exceeded my expectations as far as selling, and John and Peter and Mike, who've contributed, everybody that's contributed, you've all played a part in it. Because look, I just asked a bunch of questions, and thank you everybody for supporting it. And yes, Bryan Adams' Christmas Time is awesome
with Reggae Christmas on the B-side, which actually I prefer Reggae Christmas, to be honest with you. Sorry. So once again, everybody, please check out. This is, to our knowledge, the very first book that you can buy on Y&T. To our knowledge, right?
Nobody's come to me yet and say I got one first. I don't think so.
So there you go, folks.
In.
Check it out on your Amazon.
It's still crazy to me that I am a client of Hugh Symes.
That's pretty incredible.
Pretty awesome.
And not to mention, I also forgot to mention, Sean Kelly wrote the foreword. Sean Kelly is an author in his own right.
Kelly came through with an awesome foreword. I knew after reading Don't Call It Hair Metal that this is the guy that this guy could write something good about Y&T. And he's actually told me he's been listening to them a lot more now. So that's what this is all about. I'm not looking to get rich off this. I'm looking for, like the episode that John the Music Nut and I did, where we basically ganged up Mike and made him buy Y&T CDs. We want to spread the word about this band. So
still paying off that credit card. Anyway, Peter, you've got some cool stuff going on right now. Like I said, I can't wait to watch your Van Halen 3 episode.
Yep, that's dropped today. So the Van Halen 3, where I get David Botas and we say, is it misunderstood or misguided? So we just go through the whole gamut on Van Halen 3. Prescott Niles from the Knack, also missing persons, got him back to the channel doing an interview. He was fantastic last time. He talked for 2 hours. I was on the phone to him yesterday. I couldn't get him off after 45 minutes. I'm looking forward to interviewing him tomorrow. We'll do a deeper dive on the Knack, and he's got so many stories, like meeting Jimi Hendrix and meeting George Harrison. He's just got a wealth of stories. And next week, I have not heard a Prince album before with Mike Lodano. Watch this, Purple Rain. Did Purple Rain, has that arrived yet? The actual physical copy yet, Mike?
It's on my Christmas wish list. So we kind of have a family policy of don't buy anything during the month of December.
It's coming soon anyway. Anyway, it's a good show. Watch it. Dropping soon.
Yeah, I can't wait. I don't want to give you any spoilers, but I think I've been on Rock Daydream Nation 3 or 4 times, and I think that was my favorite so far. It was just such a good discussion. But there's also another channel here represented by these 2 gentlemen called My Music Corner. Well, these 3 gentlemen, My Music Corner. What do you guys got cooking?
Well, we need to get the band back together with Roger and Jason, who was commenting a lot, and his brother Ben. We need to get the band back together because we haven't done anything for a while aside from wrestling stuff. But John and I are right now we're doing Dangerous Toys December. So we're halfway through that. We've got 2 more albums to do there. That's, and then we'll start up another band starting in January, which is going to be a doozy.
Spoiler? No spoiler?
Clue?
A hint? Twisting your arm a bit?
Taylor Swift.
No.
The
More
back
prolific.
I don't think you won't have to worry about never being satisfied. Maybe with talking about this band. I think this will be a good band to discuss. So.
Okay.
Oh wait, I remember what you told me now.
Well, don't spoil
Don't
it.
spoil it.
Music Nut, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, first, a whole bunch of thank yous here. Mike, thank you for having me on this show.
No, thank you, man.
I appreciate it. Thanks. 2, Tim, thank you for asking me to be part of your YNT book. I wish you sell tons and tons of copies of this. I'm looking forward to getting mine on. Amazon's saying Tuesday right now for me. I don't have Prime. That's why I don't have it right now. And Peter, John, thank you for having me on your channels. I really appreciate it. I love the great rapport we all have. And Roger, we got a great rapport as well on John's channel as well. I'm looking forward to working with you. You're welcome. And thank you all for watching. Mom, thanks so much for coming on, for appearing. And thank you all for watching. I look forward to coming back on. And I got a lot of stuff lined up. I'm all over the place. I'm on Grant's Rock Warehouse right now. I'm going to be filming a show with the Contrarians tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So about 12 and a half hours from now. Should I give a hint? Denim and Leather put us all together. It's you that's spirit free. So there you go. And once John, I'll be doing the Dangerous Toy series. I got some stuff lined up with Peter as well. So and Grant. So a lot going on. But I'm grateful. Thanks.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that you've come on tonight and
thank you.
Spent all this time with us. And same with you, Roger. Another first timer tonight, and not the last time for sure.
How do you know I don't have anything to plug? What do you think? I just piggyback off of John? Huh?
I wasn't finished talking. I was about to say, I got to get you back on with John, and we'll do like the record store tales. The retail hell stories, but maybe I just revoked your invite. No, I'm just
you
kidding.
did not.
No, we'll have you back
I got to
on.
put up with.
But yeah, what do you have going on? I know you've got a busy
Nothing.
weekend.
I was just kidding.
Oh, for God's sake! See, this is why I'm going to.
This is what I put up with.
Right, I'm going to need you on, John, to kind of keep things tampered down. But Roger, I do thank you, man. Really had fun tonight, and I love your sense of humor. You are a hilarious dude.
You're welcome. I like to think I was actually the substitute co-host, not Tim.
Okay. Well, you know what? That's fine. I will. Tim still's the one who got paid.
Yeah.
But
well, I need lots of money because look, my wall's empty. Look at that. I clearly need money.
Love that Savage and Elizabeth.
You know what's funny? Here, the train's gonna go off the rails for a second.
Okay.
I've actually had that since I was like 6 years old.
Oh,
gotta love that.
That's adorable. I could just picture that. Well, thank you again. All of you will be back on in 2024. As you know, we like to go out on a song, and it's not a Christmas song, but I'm feeling mellow tonight. So this is Jacob Moon with his cover of Steve Earle's "Someday," and
Nice.
thank you once again. And again, we're plugging the book. Check it out. Thank you, Tim, Peter, Ebenezer, Music Nut, and Metal Roger. We'll see you again next year. This is Jacob Moon with "Someday." Have a great night.
See you later.
Going to play us out with a song that's for Mr. Eric Litwiller here, and for the good old times of living in Kitchener-Waterloo and all that good stuff.
Awesome.
and this is a Steve Earle song. All right.
Yeah.
Because I know that Eric is right into Steve Earle, or was.
Big time.
We
Big
both
time.
are.
All right.
We both are.
All right, so here it is. It goes something like this.
There ain't a lot that you can do in this town. Drive down to the lake and then you turn back around. Go to school so you can learn to read and write, so you can walk into the county bank and sign away your life. I work at the filling station on the interstate, yeah, pumping gasoline and counting out of state plates. You ask me how I sent to Memphis, son, and where's the nearest beer? Well, they don't even know that there's a town around here. Someday I'm finally gonna let go. I know there's a better way. I wanna know what's over the rainbow. I'm gonna get out of here someday. Now, my brother went to college 'cause he played football. Me, I never even got through high school at all. Got me a 67 Chevy, she's low and sleek and black. Someday I'll put her on the interstate and never look back. Yeah. Someday I'm finally gonna let go. I know there's a better way. Well, I wanna know what's over the rainbow. I'm gonna get out of here someday. I'm gonna get out of here someday.
Wicked.
Beautiful team, man. Awesome.